For 27 years, the family of Tupac Shakur has been waiting for justice. We are here today to announce the arrest of 60-year-old Dwayne Keefe Davis, AKA Keefe D.
As you're driving up towards the BMW, with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat, and you said that Tupac pulled out.
It looked like he was reaching, yeah. Once he got the reaching, I got the ducking.
So someone from your car
That's what happened.
started at Tupac and Suge.
Today it was announced Keefe D has officially been charged with the passing of Tupac, when suddenly an interview surfaced of KD speaking on how Tupac Shakur actually passed. The interview surfaced shortly after a deputy announced during a press conference,
For 27 years, the family of Tupac Shakur has been waiting for justice. We are here today to announce the arrest of 60-year-old Dwayne Keefe Davis, AKA Keefe D, of Tupac Shakur. Davis was arrested this morning by my LVMPD criminal apprehension team, and this investigation started on the night of September 7th, 1996. It has taken countless hours, really decades, of work by the men and women of our section to get to where we are today.
as Keefe D's interview was him confessing to doing the crime inside of the vehicle with his three friends, as it begins with him detailing the moments of finding Tupac on the street and pulling up on him.
And Bubble Up was a driver, and Baby Lane and Freaky were in the back seat.
We was just all in the car together. Just say that.
This was the white Cadillac.
Yeah.
So you guys are driving around, and then you hear these girls say, Tupac, Tupac.
Got to the light. He was supposed to go drink. And he happened to be hanging out the window. He was hanging out the window like he was in a parade.
Tupac.
Yeah, he was.
So what happens next? You said that as you're driving up towards the BMW, with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat.
To later, Keefe D's interrogation with the police that has never been before seen being shared online during his interview with DJ Vlad.
Lane starts. You say Suge looks over, he sees you.
Yeah.
He looks right at you.
Yeah, he looked at me.
Okay. When he looks over at you, and then Tupac's busy getting. Evidently, the story is Tupac's trying to either get out of
In
the
the
line.
back seat or something.
Yeah. What do you see happening inside of their
Jumping
car?
in. I seen him going Suge head. I thought he was.
So Orlando across Dre?
He leaned over on the window. We rolled down the window.
As Keefe D then released this footage with DJ Vlad for the first time ever, they then got back on the topic of how Tupac sadly passed, announcing that he was at the crime scene inside of the vehicle and even made eye contact with Suge Knight while it was going down. What Keefe D said next was very concerning, stating that it all happened once Tupac was seen reaching for his firearm.
You said that as you're driving up towards the BMW, with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat, and you said that Tupac pulled out.
It looked like he was reaching, yeah. Yeah, it did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you actually?
No, once he got the reaching, I got the ducking.
So someone from your car
That's what happened.
started at Tupac and Suge.
It's very clear the investigation for Tupac's passing is heating up, as even Snoop Dogg revealed that he was supposed to be in that vehicle with Suge Knight and Tupac on the night it happened.
You were with Tupac, though, in regards to Tupac. I heard a story, did you give him different advice that night on where to go?
I didn't give him no advice.
Right.
We wasn't seeing eye to eye.
Right.
So
Saying during the Tyson.
yeah, this incident that I'm explaining to you right now was the day before that.
Okay.
So when they got to Vegas, they went their way, I went back. I mean, when we got to LA, they went to Vegas and I went home. That's why I wasn't in the car with them.
To even Floyd Mayweather announcing that he witnessed Tupac being targeted in Las Vegas on that night, detailing that he lived right there.
The car pulled up at Tupac. Car pulled right here. Tupac at this light. Car went that way. I was living right here in 1996 when Tupac. Right here. I ain't never told nobody. Only the close people with me know.
However, this is where things get weird. Keefe D wrote an entire book on being involved in Tupac's passing titled Compton Street Legend, to even interviews with DJ Vlad stating that he was inside of the vehicle while the crime went down. Why is he now being arrested for the crime after decades has gone by? Now, fans believe it's a cover-up that Tupac is still alive, and to understand this further, we need to dive deeper into the notorious B.I.G. Fans believe that he was responsible for the hit, or at least even helping Tupac stage his passing. As Biggie Smalls have been accused of going after Tupac in the past, their beef all started in 1994, when Tupac had gone to the studio to record a verse. However, 3 guys jumped him in the lobby, using firearms at Tupac and snatching his chains. Coincidentally, Biggie and his crew were at the exact same studio when it all went down. Biggie tried covering it up, saying that it was all a coincidence and that he had nothing to do with it. But according to rumors, the story does not end there. Ever since Tupac was declared to be passed in 1996, theories about him faking his passing and still being alive has been rising all over the internet and the news. As from interviews with Suge Knight, he would reveal that Tupac Shakur was doing fine in the hospital before his passing.
I mean, when I left that hospital, me and Pac was laughing and joking. So I don't see how somebody can turn from doing well to doing bad.
So you seriously think that he might still be alive?
I'm gonna tell you this, Pac, you never know.
But what is weird about this is that Tupac was supposedly in a deep sleep. How in the world would he and Suge Knight be laughing if Tupac was unconscious? Now, things are not adding up here, but then in 2018, Suge Knight's own son took it to Instagram to state that Tupac was still alive and living in Malaysia. And then Suge Jr. posted this, another photo to his Instagram showing a text conversation where someone said, "You said too much, it's time for you to go," as he was posting several photos of Tupac alive. We would then even see Suge Knight's son post even more photos of Tupac, this time alongside modern day celebrities such as 50 Cent and Beyonce. He made it seem as if someone was after Suge Knight Jr. for leaking all of this info, as on the photo with Tupac and Beyonce, he would go on and caption it, "He never left us, but they will be after me soon." Now, many believe this was all a publicity stunt for Suge Knight's son to gain clout. Others believe that it is factual, as if anyone were to know that Tupac is alive, it would likely be Suge Knight Jr., the son of Tupac's best friend, considering Suge Knight was right there at the scene of the crime, as well as allegedly at the hospital with Tupac, laughing and joking several hours after the crime. As Suge Knight told TMZ that Tupac was alive and well.
So he was conscious on the way to the hospital?
He was conscious on the way to the hospital. He was conscious in the ambulance. He was conscious after they did the surgery.
What was the last thing that he said to you?
They love him.
Similar to when Suge Knight Jr. was posting those photos saying someone was going to come after him, 6 months after Suge Knight did that interview I just shared, he almost lost his life at a nightclub using a firearm very recklessly right beside him. However, Suge Knight was very hesitant to tell the police anything about that incident. Many believe it was all connected to him talking to TMZ about Tupac being alive. Then in 2018, a rapper named Tretch was interviewed on the topic of Tupac before a show. Tretch and Tupac were very close friends back in the day, even working on a few albums together. But here's where things get interesting. After Tretch's interview, the cameraman forgot to stop recording, placing his camera on the floor. In the footage, you can hear the interviewer asking Tretch about Tupac, to which Tretch responds, "Last time I saw him, he was in Cuba."
So if you ain't ready for it, get on the sidewalk.
One last question. Is Tupac still alive?
Nobody knows.
Y'all good? Yeah, we good. Thanks a lot, man. We good.
As Tupac being alive in Cuba is likely the most popular theory to this day. His aunt had been living in Cuba since 1994. She was convicted of a very serious crime in the United States and she had to escape immediately. Then in 2018, a website called Reposters posted a photo of Tupac allegedly partying with Rihanna in Cuba. Many say the photo's fake, many say it's real. In fact, the Cuba theory had become so popular, famous rapper Kendrick Lamar even references it in his track titled Element, where he says the lyrics, Mr. 1 through 5, that's the only logic. Fake my passing, go to Cuba, that's the only option. Eminem even said it in one of his freestyles as well, where he would go on and say, a lot of talk and rumors on us. Who's the hottest? To be honest, hip-hop ain't been the same since Tupac moved to Cuba on us. Then randomly in the year 2000, a video released from a news website showing a video of Tupac supposedly chilling in a parking lot in Cuba.
Look, zoom in. That's Pac, man. He was the outlaw. And Reg from Holla Back is trying to be friendly and get autographs. Holla Back exclusive, baby. Holla Back.
As Suge Knight has also said the situation with Tupac after the passing just did not feel right. Knight went on a radio show to state, and I quote, maybe the question is, Pac is really not gone and he's just somewhere else. Knight said live on the air, nobody's seen Tupac after it was announced that he sadly passed. The person supposedly in charge of handling the situation with Tupac got about $3 million personally from me, cash. Next thing I know is I never heard from the guy or ever even seen him again. He retired and left. As another very strange detail about the official report of Tupac's passing is that he was listed as 215 pounds. However, Pac was a very slim dude, standing at only 5'9". Most sources and best friends say that he only weighed around 160 pounds. So the report being off by this much was definitely suspicious, as it is very curious as to why 20 years after the crime, a 60-year-old man is now finally being arrested, even though he admitted to doing the crime several years ago in a book written by himself sold on Amazon.